You've seen the headlines, right? Tech companies are laying off tens of thousands of people, and they're all blaming the same thing: artificial intelligence. It's a story that's creating a ton of anxiety. But what if it's not the whole story? What if AI is just a really convenient excuse? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the AI layoff lie. And this is the message that really kicked things off for our investigation. The CEO of Crypto.com, he didn't just announce layoffs. No, he framed it as this urgent strategic leap into the future of AI. It's a pretty intense claim, basically saying if you don't do this now, you're done. This is the exact narrative we're going to unpack. And, Crypto.com is not alone here. Not by a long shot. This whole AI-driven restructuring story is literally sweeping across the tech industry, creating this huge wave of change and, let's be honest, a lot of concern. I mean, the numbers here are just startling. We're talking about giants like Block, Salesforce, and Amazon. In the first quarter of 2026 alone, poof, 45,000 tech jobs vanished. And the official story from all of them? You guessed it, it's AI. But here's where we need to press pause. Is AI the real reason? Or is it just the newest, shiniest excuse? If we take a closer look at Crypto.com's recent history, let's say, telling pattern starts to emerge. Okay, just look at this timeline. In 2022, the reason for layoffs was a market slump. Totally plausible. In 2023, it was the FTX contagion. Again, makes sense. Now, it's AI integration. See the pattern? The excuses change to match the headlines, but the core problem, needing to cut costs, stays exactly the same. So, if the public statements feel a little like misdirection, where's the real story? Well, as always, you've just got to follow the money. $700 million. That's what it costs to rename a single sports arena back in 2021. It's just a perfect, glaring example of the kind of aggressive, hyper-growth spending that was happening during the crypto boom. And that massive spending, it was all a bet on a future that, well, never really showed up. As you can see right here in this chart, both venture capital funding and trading volumes have absolutely plummeted. When your main ways of making money start drying up, you suddenly find yourself under a ton of financial pressure. So this isn't some futuristic story about technology making humans obsolete. Nope. It's a classic business story. A company grew too fast, spent way too much money during the good times, and now is being forced to make some really painful cuts just to stay afloat. Now, let's really dig into the evidence against this AI narrative. There are 4 key facts that, when you put them together, cast some serious doubt on the official story. From what researchers are finding to the actual jobs being eliminated, all the evidence really points away from AI being the main reason for these layoffs. First off, just think about the roles that are getting cut. The story they're selling is that AI is automating these very specific tasks. But in reality, the layoffs are these broad, sweeping cuts through departments like customer support and middle management, the usual targets in any traditional cost-cutting plan. And hey, it's not just me saying this. The employees who actually lost their jobs are speaking out. They argue their work was way too complex, way too nuanced for any AI to handle. This quote from a former Block employee just sums it up perfectly. You can't really AI that. And even if you look at the most optimistic, forward-looking reports, the math just doesn't add up. A recent Goldman Sachs report estimated that only about 2.5% of jobs are actually at risk from AI. So how does that explain companies cutting 10, 20, even 50% of their staff? It just doesn't. So the big question is, if AI isn't the real reason, why is this story everywhere? What's the real motivation for telling it? Well, it turns out the AI excuse is a brilliant piece of corporate storytelling. For investors, it sounds like forward-thinking efficiency, not slowing growth. For executives, it makes them look like innovators, not like they mismanaged the company's finances. It's the perfect way to reframe past mistakes as a bold leap into the future. But here's the thing about a story built on pure hype. It can only last for so long before reality comes knocking. And now we're starting to see the cracks in this AI narrative appear, with some of the world's biggest financial players starting to sound the alarm. When a $2.1 trillion fund, one of the biggest investors on the planet, starts openly mourning about a 35% correction from an AI bubble, you know the story is in trouble. The gap between the AI hype and the actual financial reality is becoming way too big to ignore. So what does this all mean for you? Well, it's really about becoming a more critical observer. If you're an employee, look past the press release and dig into the financials. If you're an investor, you should be demanding hard proof of AI's impact. And if you're a builder in this space, the focus has to be on responsible innovation. And for those of you who are actually developing this technology, the real challenge isn't just about what AI can do, but how we can control it. As we start giving AI agents more financial power, things like spending limits and clear audit trails become absolutely critical. This is how we build a trustworthy AI ecosystem, not just one that serves as a convenient scapegoat. So the next time you see a headline about AI-driven layoffs, I want you to ask yourself this one simple question. Is this story really about the future of technology, or is it a story about cleaning up the failures of the past? The answer to that question will tell you everything you really need to know.